As you already learned from the airline industry training, on regular economy class tickets, for long-haul flights, there's usually at least one bag of luggage included free of charge, as well as a carry-on and a personal item. On many airlines, and to multiple destinations, the free baggage allowance may be 2 bags. But if it's a short flight, domestic flight, baggage may come at an additional cost to the ticket, and it might be $30 to $60 per direction per passenger, significantly adding on top of the price. Also, there may be flight options available in so-called basic economy class, where airline ticket itself is somewhat cheaper, but there are extra limitations, like the absence of seat selection, and zero free baggage allowance. As many of our customers travel to visit friends and family, or for an extended time period, they may need to have extra baggage allowance. And in case it's a short trip or business trip, the customer might want to travel lightly with a simple backpack or carry-on, and would be willing not to take any luggage. Ask your customer about the baggage preference. How many bags of luggage are you planning to take? Do you have any preference in regards to the baggage allowance? Another important question is to find out if it's just the flight that the customer is looking for, or he will be also needing hotel accommodations. Ask, would you be also needing hotel accommodation? If the answer is yes, mark it for yourself in the CMS request. Don't search for the hotel at once though, as we don't sell hotel accommodations without airline tickets. We need to find a suitable flight for the client first, and if he or she will be booking it, we'll also pair that with a suitable hotel option. In many situations, after asking all of the questions we discussed previously, you will get an impression that the customer wants to have the best airline on specific dates, shortest flight and shortest layovers for the cheapest price. That is the perfect case scenario. And that is rarely going to be possible to achieve all in one package, and it's going to be either a higher price or a less convenient flight. In such cases, it's important to understand what is more important for this particular customer. Ask the following question. What is most important to you? A short comfortable flight, or a low price, with possibly more stops or trip duration? What are the most important factors for your flight that I should consider for my search? By asking such questions, you are likely to find out the most important factors which the client can't do without. Of course, as a professional, you will search for both the perfect case scenario, as well as cheaper alternatives, but knowing where the customer is leaning on the comfort versus price scale is going to help you when you perform your flight search. Most clients have a particular price in mind that they are willing to spend on their trip, but it's a rather sensitive subject, because most customers are not willing to share that amount. So if you ask straight up, what is your budget, you are likely to hear that it's the lowest available that they are searching for. Knowing the client's budget will help you understand which price range you should be looking for, and if it's even possible on the chosen dates, or there will be a need for extra flexibility. In case the client mentioned that he or she has been already searching for this flight on other sites or with other agencies, ask if there was anything that he or she already found that seems appealing. If there is such a flight, you will firstly understand what is your competition offering. Secondly, you will get an idea of what this customer likes. Thirdly, you will understand the cost of this flight and do your best to beat that price. Ask this question. You mentioned you have searched online for this flight. Have you already found a flight you like? I can search for it and most likely get a better price. Another opportunity is if the customer is talking himself about having a budget or looking for a very low price. Ask the following question. You mentioned you are looking for the lowest price. Low-cost flights are not always the most convenient ones, and sometimes have long trip duration or long layovers. Is there a particular budget I should consider? I'll do my best to find the most convenient flight within that price range. Looking at the situation from this perspective, it will be easier for the customer to decide about a comfortable price range. Never push on this question. Although it makes your search easier, you need to respect if the client is not willing to share this information. In case the customer never mentioned looking for a lowest price or searching online, you can ask about previous experiences. It helps in several things at once. Firstly, to build a stronger bond with the customer. Secondly, to understand more about whether he or she travels frequently or is a first-time traveler, as well as about airline preference and the purpose of the trip. Usually clients are keeping the amount they paid for their previous trip as an adequate amount they would be willing to pay, hoping to find something lower at the same time, but less likely to go above that. Ask some questions about the customer's previous experience. Have you traveled to Tel Aviv before? Which airline did you travel with last time? Did you enjoy the flight? Was it short and convenient? What price did you manage to get last time? I can search for this flight for you and do my best to get a similar or cheaper deal. This is a great way to get to know your customers better, and to find out even more about their preferences and special needs. After asking all of the questions, ask this final one. Is there anything else? If there are any details the customer forgot to tell you, this is the point you will receive another important bit of information. Make it a habit asking this question, and you will see that in many cases at this point clients remember important details, vital for you to know. So once again, is there anything else? Make sure to enter all of the information you managed to collect into the CMS Request Preferences section. It's also going to be a good reminder about the questions to ask. Anything besides the listed fields there, enter into the comments section. Make sure to do that immediately so you don't forget anything, for each and every customer. You will be dealing with multiple flight requests a day, and usually it takes 3 to 5 days for clients to make a final decision, sometimes a week or 2 weeks, sometimes even longer. During that time you always need to be sure that when you open your request, all important details are going to be there. Another important reason for that is that other people that will be helping you out will also need this info. There are different departments assisting you in different situations, that we will discuss later on, such as GDS flight search experts, customer support team, concierge services, and they need detailed info about the customer's request as well. Here is a list of do's and don'ts for you to remember about before starting to work with real customers. If you do everything according to this video guide, ask detailed questions about clients' personal details, trip details and preferences, while maintaining a lively and interesting conversation, your initial call is going to be always about 10 to 20 minutes long. If the duration is less than that, that means you're rushing or skipping important parts of it. Don't assume anything, that is a frequent mistake of new travel agents. You need to make sure to personalize every request and treat every customer with special care. Ask open-ended questions, starting with what, how, where, how in order for the customer to speak more and get involved more into the conversation. For example, instead of will you be needing a short flight, ask, what is the preference in regards to trip duration? That question requires a full answer instead of a simple yes or no. And finally, don't be a robot who is only asking questions, be an interesting person to talk to, tell a story from your experience, show a sense of humor, use your empathy and develop your personal style, as that is what is going to be special about you. That is why customers will return to you again and again, that will earn you your gratuities and amazing reviews, and that is exactly what will help you build your personal database of loyal return customers. That is it for the preferences part of this training. Make sure to download the question checklist and always have it handy. Good luck with your training.